Not entirely sure what to expect from this one after the last match. A big match, another one that is essentially winner goes through, just like our previous one, which had both players on edge throughout. I'm not sure if we'll see the same again, or whether either of these two players can settle in and start to play their level out there. Casey Ranford Norrey has first opportunity. So race to 4. 30 minutes when we started. First 2.5 minutes, or coming up to that, are nearly done, and we're into a tactical opening frame. Opening frame in these matches could be huge. This is the group with Vicky Lomax and Aid Flitcroft-Hurst. They'll also be in action tonight. Unfortunately for Aid, she can no longer qualify, and Vicky Lomax is already through, won her opening 2 games against both Casey and Emma, and sits top of the group with 4 points. She can actually finish second. Whichever one of these two players wins could end up pipping her on frame difference, but Vicky actually holds the cards when it comes to the frame difference. It's likely she's going to finish on top. So this is essentially for who goes through to the last 16 of the Women's British Open with her. Players have played out in the arena this weekend, so have had a taste of just playing a little bit quicker out there, a little bit tougher just to control the cue ball. As I welcome Tony Holgate into the commentary box. Tony, I hope we are in for as much drama in this one as we saw in the last one.
Yeah, it should be a cracking game. Casey, obviously, we saw last night, I was on commentary with Danielle Randall on the Casey Ranford Norrey versus Vicky Lomax match. Casey started off with a great 8-ball in the first frame, and then really she should have gone 2-0 up. Didn't get quite onto the black properly, and then the wheels sort of came off from there in that match for Casey. But she's back again to do battle. Like you say, Simon, this is effectively a playoff for who goes through with Vicky Lomax into the main draw tomorrow.
Maybe an angle here. There's maybe a real opportunity for Casey. Yeah, there is an angle. Try and get things going. Playing red off yellow. The top red of those 3 together actually would have gone. But I think Casey thought she might be opening them up a little bit. Hasn't quite worked.
Looks like a bit of an edgy first frame from both players. Casey's now knocked those reds apart. It did go, that red, into the corner, but she overcut it. Doesn't seem to have left Emma Parker too much, though. Looking at the table, she might be able to just squeeze past the black ball there and pot that yellow into the top right-hand corner. I think that's where she should be heading. She opted for the safety. Unfortunately for Emma, she's not attained that, and now a nice easy starting red for Casey down into the bottom left.
Yeah, time to put this frame to bed and get going here for Casey.
Well, she's left herself the angle on the red into the right hand corner, but she's going to take the longer red. Must squeeze past into the centre, and it certainly does. What's she done? Got away with that one. Bit too close for comfort for Meister anyway.
Yeah, I thought it was going to slide behind, but job done. Casey Ranford Norrey gets a frame on the board, and Parker will rue a couple of tactical errors that she made in the opening frame. If you are just joining us, then you missed an absolute classic in the previous match. All the way down to a 6-red shootout for progress through to the last 16 of the Women's British Open. Kim Beresford getting the better of Barbara Taylor. Crunching break. Casey really got into that one. Actually come out a little bit awkward again. We could be in for a little bit more of a tactical exchange. Top right hand corner's a bit of a problem.
One thing I noticed last night about Casey, she does have the power game. She's a tremendous potter when she gets going. Just last night I sort of detected sometimes relying too much on raw potting and maybe just a little bit of, I don't know, to be a little bit more cautious now and again, but potting is her strength, although she'll be a bit disappointed she didn't get that plant.
Well, Emma's going to take on the yellows, with Casey having missed. All about the two yellows and the red top right.
We can play that yellow very thinly off the red that's blocking the two yellows into that corner and free them, but that is need to be really bang on angle wise and where you land. Well, that's out of the equation then.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone much worse.
Yeah, I think she went to split them there and then, and unfortunately for Emma Parker, she's knocked her loose yellow into the pocket. And
I quite like the decision to go into him from that ball, in all honesty. If you get the line right, chances of it working out well are pretty good for you, but when it doesn't come out, I'm not a fan of continuing to pot. It doesn't help you.
Well, it seems to me like Emma's decided she's going to free these two yellows and hand the table to Casey Ranford Norrey, and in effect, hope she doesn't get them.
And that is exactly what she's done.
This is a great opportunity for Casey.
You've been thinking, get down the table early. Unless the red squeezes past the yellow bottom right. First thought would have been, oh no, don't miss that one. Yeah, my first thought would have been getting on the red right centre or up the table. Having missed that one, I've just gifted the opportunity to Emma here.
Well, that miss there from Casey makes Emma's decision look the correct one. Well, it's all about position onto the black from the ball that's over the bag for Emma Parker. She'd love to get right behind it to play it into the bottom left. But if you head towards there, there is a big middle bag waiting as well. She needs to be careful. She's played that really well. Perfect touch and weight of this black to level the match. In it goes. And a tidy little finish there from Emma Parker.
Yeah, tidy second opportunity, but doesn't matter. And as you say, she dangled the carrot. I mean, I thought that was a little bit too much of a risk in terms of they were wide open for Casey. And having won the opening frame, you expected Casey to go on and take those, but she didn't. And Emma got that opportunity she was looking for. So it's as you started. Players on the board, though. After this match, we will turn our attention to the Open. Ronan Fay and Josh Gooderham. Ronan Fay's currently in action right now in the amateur event. So will he be ready in time? We'll find out.
Emma Parker breaks dry. We'll have another look. She's playing the second ball down with her break. But nothing really near a bag there. So Casey gets to come to the table with choice of colour. Well, she's opted for the yellows, and I think that's the correct decision. You've got the yellow and the red that's a bit tied up at the top, but she has got two yellows nearby to try and free that. But also with the reds, you've got the two at the right hand bottom of the table, which would probably outweigh the pros and cons of why she went for yellows.
Yeah, you've got to solve the problem at the top here. Clearing these ones up at the bottom, it's just going to put you in trouble unless you have a very clear plan or can deal with the one at the top.
Well, her potting's a little bit off this evening. Whether it's if it's a little bit of nerves in the situation, because this is effectively a knockout match now. And Emma just manoeuvring those reds into a better position. And I think she's playing the correct game at the moment. I think she senses that Casey's maybe a bit edgy and just think, right, I don't need to rush things here. I can get the reds and the balls where I want them, and then pick my opportunity when to go game. Well, unbelievably, Casey's played it too soft and not struck a cushion or made the pot. So it will be ball in hand now for Emma Parker. She could have actually played that shot harder, and I think she could have kicked all those balls out, you know.
I was actually thinking about maybe a yellow off the red, delicate shot along the top cushion maybe instead. But, well, what she has done is give ball in hand for Emma, but Emma can't find the line to develop the bad ball. So it's still not a good chance for Emma Parker. This is all very well and good, but how are you dealing with the red at the top of the table? Decision has to be made, but potting these balls does not help unless you have that problem solved.
No, I think she should have held off and maybe thrown the table back to Casey after she failed to knock out with the initial shot. When she had ball in hand, I think the wisest thing would have been to let Casey go and see if Casey can move them out for her.
Casey, if she's willing to slow roll this, drop the yellow in, play the loss of turn at the top of the table, she's complete control of the frame. Just potted it a little thin.
She can still do that though. But then you're dragging the cue ball back behind the other yellow, leaving a very long red.
Yeah. Or play the shot that we talked about before, which yellow off red.
Yeah. I think she's going yellow off red.
Oh, didn't get the cue ball right.
Yeah, executed the shot very well. It's just the position. Now what does she do? Because either the thin cut or the double, the cue ball is going to be moving to try and get on that yellow at the top. It's going to be very, very tough. 3 times across.
Yeah, just play the treble.
Well,
how about that?
Awesome. It's black for a 2-1 lead. Now she's been blowing a bit hot and cold with her pots this evening, so this is a big tester. And one that she has passed this time.
Yeah, back in front. Excellent out in the end. And yeah, she'll be pleased. As we take a look at what's going on around, there is Ronan Fade. He's actually meant to be playing in our next match. Whether he's ready in time or not, I guess we'll find out. He's got Josh Gooderham in the British Open. He's currently playing in the British Amateur right now. But you can see also some of the women's matches currently going on. Update you on a few of the scores. Harriet Haynes did complete victory in her 3rd match, which means that she is safely through to the last 64. Obviously, the story of day 1 was Harriet losing out to Lucy Smith, who's currently in action. If Lucy wins that match, she goes through. Well, she's going to go through anyway. But it would be at top of the table and knock Harriet down to 2nd place. Correction, I should say last 16 for the Women's British Open. It's last 64 in the British Open.
Well, ball in hand for Emma Parker after Casey's been off the break. The table is just catching Emma out a little bit. She's expecting that cue ball to stop a little bit earlier than when it had, where it has. And she's got a couple of problems here. The Those two reds stuck together near the black. Nice pot into the middle, but once again we're seeing the problem balls left till very late in the finish, which does cause a big problem. She's going to try and knock them apart now. And that's a really good shot. I'd be tempted now to play that red that's next to the yellow into that top left-hand corner, bring the white back, try and get as straight as you possibly can on this red at the bottom. Still tough.
Actually overdone it. Come back. Oh, good 8 inches too far. I wanted to be straight in. Drop it in. Yeah, this is tricky now.
What Emma could do is play the red into the yellow that's nearest to that red at the bottom and try and get the red to go into this bottom left-hand corner. It will slow the ball down. You might get yourself a shot at the other red into the bottom right. Well, she just potted it clean. How's your luck? Oh,
I would say not great.
no. You see a bit of a slide off that top rail on the new table. As you hit the cushion, it just sort of slides a bit another ball's width across. So now Casey Ranford Norrey with a chance to get 2 in front.
You expect her to take these out now that she's kind of found a bit more of a rhythm out there. Not ideal. Keyboard's going to be doing some movement here, you feel. Decided just to drop it in and take a trickier 8-ball into the middle. And then it goes 3-1. Casey Ranford Norrey leads. Parker would like to have a couple of visits back in this match, or it just got away from her. And you can see, I'll have a check in on what's going on over on table 2. Ronan Fay at the table, 3-2 down to Darren Hope in the British Amateur. This frame's been going on for quite a while. Looks like this yellow is to essentially win it for him. And it goes. 8-ball to follows. That should be 3-3 there. Reminder, that's our next match here on the TV table. Will be Ronan Fay and Josh Gooderham.
Well, Emma Parker there repaying the compliment from the previous frame when Casey went in off her break. Great pot there from Casey. What if she could just nick this yellow off the other one towards this middle bag? It would get rid of the awkward ball, and it would also free up the other yellow. It would have to be a very, very tight, thin edge off that yellow to go in the middle. But if she could make that, that would open up the chance to win this match and get herself into the main knockout draw in the last 16 tomorrow. Well, she's playing safe. Well, she's gone aggressive as Emma, taking out that long red up the rail. But she still has a major problem with that red that's guarded by two yellows.
Beautiful piece of cueing.
And there's just enough gap there to get this red down into the bottom right. And that was a cracking shot there from Emma Parker, trying to keep her hopes and dreams alive. Well, I'll tell you what this would be some finish if she goes on and completes it. With her back against the wall, needing every ball. 3-1 down. We're down to just over 5 minutes left in the match. And Emma Parker is producing some fine pull out there now.
Yeah, best moment in the match, isn't it? Very good. When she needed it most. Builds us for a fine climax here. 5:22 left.
That was a great finish. Round of applause there for that. It looked a little bit hopeless task really, because she had such a tough red up the rail, and I thought she might just go on the defensive a little bit and just try and manoeuvre the balls out, but she took it on, and great shot to bring out the red. It was in trouble, and then her position from then on was A1, so that was impressive stuff there. So now just one frame behind. Just over 5 minutes left on a match. So Emma wants another frame yet. Has she got time to get two? Possibly. But just the main thing for her is to get a one. And if it goes to a 6 red, then so be it. She's still in it. But Casey won't want that. She needs balls off this break, and she'll want to end this match right here and now. Casey puts an extra bit of power into that break. Take another look. Got everything moving around the table there. Cue ball was very close to that corner. And the thing really for Casey's the first ball. She obviously wants reds, and there you hear the bell. We're now down to 15 seconds of shots. But she can play this red off the black into the middle, and the chance is there for her. Where Emma Parker's yellows are, there's nowhere really that Casey can snook herself, really. Do you think she should run these out?
Oh, cue ball's tracking. Cue ball is tracking. Wowee. Are we about to see a big turnaround? Are we about to see another 6-red shootout?
Well, that was incredible. Anywhere but there for Casey.
That nudge isn't what she wanted, but it's okay.
I think she'll take anything at the moment. When she saw those reds, I bet she thought it was all over. And this is Emma Parker's moment. She's already potted a ball up there in the previous frame. Stretching a little bit, and it's...
Yeah, really wanted to get on that yellow on the left-hand side by the looks of things and forced it.
Yeah, played it a little bit heavy for me.
So what looked like it was going to be a full turnaround, thanks to that miss from Emma Parker. Casey Ranford Norrey is now 3 pots away.
It just fell out of position a bit there. But pots away back into this position with this long red into the top left-hand corner. Drag the cue ball back a couple of inches and she'll have a tap in black. And it is going to be Casey.
Yeah, job done for Casey Ranford Norrey. Very good in her second opportunity in that one, and played some good stuff in and amongst. Emma Parker played her part. Emma's going to have to go through to the plate event. Casey Ranford Norrey, though, she gets herself into the last 16 of the Women's British Open.